Homestead skills. Might want to get handy with one of these in case you need to take down a couple of those, because your creek that's normally a half a foot deep and 3 foot wide is 4 foot deep and 40 foot wide. You need to build a bridge so you can get out and go buy groceries. So that's what we're doing today, at least for the right now. I tried to shoot some footage of these trees coming down, but I had my kids as cameraman number 1 and executive producer, and they refused to stay out of the drop zone of the trees as they were coming down, so I shut them down. But just imagine a big tree. There you go. So these 2 pines were here and here, and I laid them down across the creek and then limbed them out, and that's a brush pile there of the limbs. And I have been all down in that creek. I'm on my 2nd set of clothes for the day. And earlier it was raining and I got really cold. You know that whole 3 hours in 3 hours without shelter? That's no lie. I was out here for about 3 hours and the ambient temperature was about mid 40s and I was soaking wet. And yeah, that's a problem. So I had to go put some calories in me and put my socks over the wood stove, put my feet in front of the wood stove, and drink some water and just chill for a hot minute. So yeah, things to consider when you're homesteading. Are you good with a chainsaw and an axe? You might need to be. So I'll keep you all updated. Okay. Have I mentioned as far as homesteading and or surviving the end of the world as we know it, you should probably be in pretty good shape. And I know round is the shape, but it's probably not the ideal shape for, you know, living. Now, the discerning eye will note that the attitude of these logs has changed just a little bit. The discerning eye will also note that I was working over there, and I like you guys enough that I walked around from over there across the footbridge and then back over here to get my phone to show you what I'm doing. So you see, this log is where I want it. This log, not so much. So the butt of this log, I gotta flop. See how it's on top of the other one? I gotta flop this log over. So to do that, I'm gonna hook this log to that tree with a come along and jerk it over. So we'll have 2 logs lined up across the creek. It'll be our runners for our bridge, and then we will fell another tree and bucket to probably 9 foot lengths, and then slab those 9 foot lengths somewhere around 3 to 4 inches. But okay, I went across the footbridge, now we're on the other side. Just wanted to show you guys this. So got a chain around this tree and 2 come-alongs hooked to a piece of Samson Arborplex climbing line, but it's 1/2 inch diameter. It can be used as a rigging line. and I have many times, as you can see. So I got 2 come-alongs there, and I got 1 over here, back, both of them using the same 200-foot piece of rope, tied around, hooked to the end of this log, so that I could slide that sucker this way, but get the appropriate attitude on it. So just use those 2 come-alongs at opposing angles, allows you to steer the direction of pull. If you need to go a little bit more this way, you click, 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 click on that one, and if you need to go a little bit more that way, you know, you click, 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 click on that one. And then that way you can walk it up in the direction that you want it to go. So now that I've got the top end where I want it, I'm gonna unhook from this end and then rig up the butt end and then swing the butt end whoosh, over that way, get it lined up. So then we'll be ready to plank. You guys tired of this stupid face? All right, butt of the log, 2. Come on, Fingy. 2 Mossdom 2-ton come-alongs. Still only gives you 2 linear tons of pulling. All right, 2 tons of force in a linear fashion, I should say. But double the reach. So, and these things, look, if you don't own some of these and you're like, I'm gonna be a homesteader, go buy some. And I say, I'm gonna be a homesteader with all fun and joking. I'm making fun of myself just as much as I am making fun of you, but be assured I'm also making fun of you. Anyway, these things are like 40 bucks at Home Depot, lifetime warranty. And no lie, not even kidding, I did a project a few years ago. I told you guys about that that doomsday bunker I had to build. Long story short, I had to buy 16 lengths, a 20-foot binder chain, and 16 2-ton come-alongs for something relative to that project. So I have, like, when somebody helps me out, like they give me a solid, I'm like, hey, you know what? You got a chain in your truck? No, I don't. You do now. And here's a chain hoist to go with it. A come-along coffin hoist, whatever. So I've still got a half a dozen lengths of chain and a half a dozen come-alongs. But you see, we're rigged back to this tree here. And I did what you're not supposed to do, because it's the end of the day and I'm not putting a serious load on this. But don't do this. See this? Don't hook the hook into the chain. This is called a slip hook. You really want a grab hook that goes around the chain and grabs and pulls. Like that sucker right there is a grab hook, and that's a slip hook. But I really didn't feel like fighting this chain any more than I already have today, so I'm into the eye of the link, which is not what you're supposed to do. But let me show you why. See this? If I just grab this, see that log? I don't know if y'all can see that, but it wants to come. It's not going to take a lot of force. So if we get one of these, see that? The best camera action in the world. See, it's rolling over. This is how you get big, strong arms and shoulders. One of the many ways, I should say. The other is being able to beat the porta potty record on deployment. You know what I'm talking about. All right, we're starting to get a little. There we go. So you're moving. She wants to go. So this is just to illustrate to y'all that come on. No. The log on bottom's trying to roll. I'll have to take another hoist and rig to that, back to that, so that that can't come anymore this way. Adventures in homesteading. Building a bridge. Get up and finish, bud. All right, thoughts on the bridge so far?
I mean, at the end, it's kind of thin.
Uh-huh.
But it's a tree, so normal.
Yeah, that's kind of how trees grow.
But I don't understand how we're going to get on this.
I got to dig a hole right here so the butt of that log will drop down level with the road.
But these are unlevel. This one's higher, this one's lower.
Yeah, there are ways.
There are ways called.
One right down the middle?
Huh?
You're going to put one right down the middle, too?
Yeah, go get the chainsaw. You go right ahead.
So Aspen's going to do that one, and me and Harlan will do these two?
Aspen is not allowed to walk across these logs. Okay?
Alright.
Okay.
But it went down to like normal size.
Yeah, it's normal again.
Did you make a video of how big it was yesterday?
Yes, I did.
So, we have challenged this hairy man to see if he can climb across one of these logs.
I'm not climbing. I'm just walking across it.
Walking.
Okay.
And see if he doesn't fall in.
Hold the camera still.
I am.
Be good.
Now you have to get back across on this one. This one's a lot easier though.
Yeah.
This is the easy one?
Yeah, that one's easy. Because it doesn't have knots like that one.
Doesn't have what?
Knots.
Oh, this is the tricksy part.
Ooh, Trixie? What?
That's the tricksy part.
What's Trixie?
It's tricksy, yo.
Who the heck is Trixie?
Like tricky? All right, what do I win?
A thumbs
Are you
up.
still filming?
Yes.
Not being laughed
You need to
at.
be cognizant of what the camera is pointed at. Like, you don't just like hold it down to the ground.
You win not being laughed at.
I win not
you
being
win
laughed at.
not being what?
What a prize. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And you might also do something really good for your either Christmas or next birthday. I'm not sure.
Okay.